Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and good night. Welcome to Tristan University's full chess game coverage of Andrew Tate versus FIDE Master Maxim, sorry, I want to get this correct first time. Maxim Omariev. Hope I've said that correctly. So, we're on a rooftop. We're playing a FIDE Master. We're going to be in the eyes of Andrew Tate with the white pieces this time. Everybody in the comments section was just asking for a digital board on the side so you can see the game. I have in fact started recording this in vertical as well, so anyone at home that wants to rewatch this on their phone, I'll try not to pause the video too often with analysis, just so people can in fact enjoy watching these two men play chess with an analysis board and not focus so much on the controversy surrounding Andrew Tate being extradited back to the UK, where he may or may not have lots of time to play chess. So, moving on very swiftly into the game, we have Andrew Tate with the white pieces. Good luck, have fun. I'm here as your mediator, adjudicator, let's say the FIDE arbiter, making sure everything goes well here. And I will say a final time, shout out to this FM, because he does do everything possible to give Andrew every fighting chance to win this game, and it finishes in spectacular fashion, so well done to you, sir. Right then, you're about to watch a British man commentate a chess game. Enjoy it.
So 3, 2, 1. Good to meet you, sir.
Nice to meet you.
So I'm here above the Kremlin in Moscow, Russia, about to get my ass kicked at chess. This feels like a movie. I wish I was better at the game. Tell me, what is your rating? What is your elo?
My rating on chess.com 2,700.
If you don't play chess, 2,700 is like you meet Mike Tyson. And I'm like the guy who's been boxing for a month. I learned chess when I was young. I was state chess champion when I was 8. And my elo was like 1,600 when I was 8. And now I'm 39 and my elo is 1,600. So nothing has changed. So I'm still the same. So I look forward to this. Life's been kicking my ass lately. I don't know why. I just keep getting my ass kicked lately. Over and over again. But oh well. Okay. I look forward to it, sir. Thank you very much. Let's go.
Let's go. I have my opening Beaverclaw.
This
The
is the opening
Beaverclaw.
you play against the people who are no good like me. This is how you make fun of me. It's okay. I understand what's happening.
Beaverclaw.
The Beaverclaw. All right. Well, I'll take the center.
It's Farok tears.
Okay. Okay. I'm getting mocked here. It's like he's fighting with his hands down. He's making fun of me. Okay. Well, I'll develop my pieces.
Yeah, good moves. You have base.
I've got the center. I'm developing my pieces. I'm gonna take more of the center. Why not?
Yeah. Strong.
Okay. Let me defend my pawn.
Push.
So if I take it, activate your rook, and I feel like this rook is gonna be a problem somehow, in some way. So I'm just gonna do this.
Yeah, good move. But
Okay. You pin the knight, which means my pawn is under attack.
yeah.
So I'm gonna defend it with the bishop.
Wow. I have problems.
I don't think I.
Okay, so straight away, we're in an opening. We're 9 moves in. The FM's highlighted a position where he might have problems, and it's quite interesting how he's got here and why he's got here. And over the next couple of moves, you'll see the symmetry appear. The position will go how your brain can imagine it will go. And once Andrew achieves that setup, White's doing very well. But Black's advantage is his rooks are going to get active. He's got a big smile on his face. He knows exactly what he's up to. And he knows where the tricks and challenges and traps are going to be in this, whereas Andrew, he already looks confused. Even though he looks like he's winning, and I'm sure he feels like he's winning, he does genuinely seem confused. And if you seem confused in an opening, This is a feeling that you can give someone, even if you know that you're slightly worse. As long as they don't think it's equal, you're asking them to start assessing, you're asking them to start using their brain. And what I noticed about this game is Andrew's quite good at finding equality. Maintaining and converting an advantage is something completely different. And he's already mentioned he was 1600 a long time ago. He's about 1600 now. I do know he can peak at around 1900 when the thoughts are flowing well. That's what he mentions later on in this video. But for all intents and purposes, if you think to yourself, why am I stuck at 1600? It's likely nothing to do with chess skill and all to do with your thought processes on whether or not positions confuse you. Because a lot of people will get sucked into the trap of accidentally trying to play checkers with chess pieces, and they'll count material as opposed to assess a position. Now this will work up to about 1600, where as long as you end up a pawn or two up, you'll likely get into an endgame. 90 to 95% of all chess endgames will end up with rooks and pawns and kings, and as long as you're a pawn up, chances are at a lower level you'll convert that into a win. So why is it when you get to a higher level things get more complicated? And this FM here is going to give Andrew a lesson on a Moscow rooftop somewhere near the Kremlin, and from this position forward it's worth thinking. Andrew's done everything right so far. F4 was arguably an inaccuracy, but to get to here against an FM, you should actually be quite happy. If you can imagine the next couple of moves coming in anyway. Yeah? Everything you want out of an opening as white has in fact been achieved. You've got the centre, black's extended on the flanks, you've developed your pieces nicely, you've got no real weaknesses, these pawns can't advance any further. You could take this position every time as white against anyone and practice this and convert this. This would be really good training, and this is why the FM's done it to him. This is a position Andrew will not be familiar with. He won't be going through any previous theory. We went out of Master's database by the time, I think it was move 4, earlier than that. So we're leaving Masters here. The last time it was played over the board, H3 was found between the 2200 as white and the 2400 as black. So we'll get to the position on the video, and we'll continue out of the opening, which the FM called the Beaverclaw. We are in the Beaverclaw. Let's carry on.
You have problems. I think I have problems. Okay, am I going to do this again? Am I going to have this weird, very symmetrical position? And yeah, I don't want to activate your rooks. Not against FIDE Master. I don't want to activate your rooks. Okay, you push. I'm going to push. And just keep everything locked. Just keep everything closed.
Let's go.
Keeping it closed.
That's fine. I can take here. You take there.
How often you play chess?
Online, probably a little bit every day. But I only play 5-minute blitz. And I never learn anything because I just blitz and lose and blitz and lose. And sometimes I get up to like 1900 on my account. And then I'll play for one day and I'll be in a bad mood or talking to my girlfriend or eating food. And I'll lose down to 1500. And then I'll win back up to 1800. Then I'll lose back down to 1500. So, you know, I don't know. I don't play any long games. Okay, we have to fix the pin on my knight.
So a little self-confession there from Andrew about his true rating, which I'm sure a lot of people will enjoy. And he does address the issue straight away. Yes, you do need to do something about this knight. If you can imagine a chessboard as two halves, Andrew's half now has a pawn inside it that wants to ideally be captured at some point before it can be supported. And you'll notice the only other pawn that can support it is here. If those are unfamiliar with the rule, if this pawn advances 2 squares, we can in fact take it. There's a rule called en passant where white would be allowed to take it. So theoretically, this pawn has no active pawn defenders. It is a weakness. We are going to target it despite the evaluation going down to equal. Once we've moved, we might likely get kicked. But at some point, this is a weakness we are going to exploit. Now, these pawns aren't going anywhere for a while. They have rooks behind them as well. Rooks do belong behind passed pawns. This is going to prove elementary in some sort of endgame tactic the FM asks him as a question later. But what are the advantageous gains black has from this opening? White seems to have everything they want. Why would the FM willingly do this if it's not just to teach Andrew a lesson? What can you gain from this as black? Now, the idea is that white will make a mistake. White will overextend something, or white will allow a weakness on one side of the board or a pin on one side of the board that we can exploit. There is no real safe space for a novice player. Novice players like to get behind pawns with a castle king. Not that Andrew's a novice, his father was an international master, as a lot of us know. Touching grandmaster, I believe he was 4 elo off 2500. So if Andrew's had this upbringing, he'll likely have been in some sort of chaotic position where he has a lot of space behind his initial pawn wall, and he'll have weaknesses that he can exploit. This will be a familiar scenario, but an unfamiliar position, and black will likely have played up the flanks all the way to FIDE master level in a variety of openings, so this will be a familiar position and a familiar situation, even if he is slightly worse or equal. Now, you will understand the FM wants Andrew to do well as we watch this, and it is quite nice. So as we evolve out of this opening into a middle game, try and understand that the FM is setting Andrew up to win. It's not just a case of, oh, why did he miss that? It is a case of he wants Andrew to do well, and this game is more than just an exercise. He's trying to teach Andrew something about himself, and it's truly quite special, which is why I've covered it. Let's continue.
And I've also got another knight under attack here. I can't take that pawn because my knight's under attack. I'm going to move my knight here.
Oh, good move. Not e2.
No, yeah, if I go here, I lose the knight.
Yeah.
That's right. So I have to be careful here. And that pin is getting annoying. I'm going to do something about that pin in a minute.
I've seen plenty of power banks over my 15 years of reviewing.
That was what he was on
This
about.
bridge one
If the knight went there, he'd
favorite.
lose this
So
one.
this
So the
10,000
FM
million
is
power
just
battery,
testing
that's
his
already
range,
small.
basically, seeing
Pretty
what he
much.
knows.
But it's
He
also
thinks
pretty loaded.
1600 means that Andrew might have
C5.
accidentally played that.
C5.
C5.
Okay, so the problems are starting to appear, and the problems are starting to be,
Shout out to Antonio.
I can en passant, and then you take back, and then I win a pawn, but then you have check with the queen on a5. If I block the check with my queen, I lose a knight. I can move my king up. Is the check even a danger? Takes, check, my knight's defended. I go here. All the squares are defended. See, if I was playing carefully right now, what I would do is just castle. Because then I'm defending my knight with my rook, and I can move my queen and not worry about the pin. But if I'm not playing too defensively, I would en passant. I will let someone at a higher level tell me what's best to do. But if we're going to lose, we're going to go down swinging. So let's go down swinging. So I'm going to take this.
Dangerous.
Okay, you're going to take here. I'm going to go here.
Good move. I think this is good move. And let's go.
Interesting. So I expected the a5 check. I didn't expect this. But this is defended for now. Everything's okay.
Do you know who like say interesting? Vladimir Kramnik.
Really?
Vladimir Kramnik.
I think my knights are okay here. I think they're defending each other. I think everything's okay. I need to fix this pin.
Quick. For those that actually got here, should we check on Vladimir Kramnik? The Queen E2 King's Indian attack. The old Indian attack, as it's being called. Could be Kramnik. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe, maybe not. I find him interesting as well.
But if I castle into a pin. I can't castle now because I'm castling into a pin here, and it's going to become a problem somehow. You're going to do something with your FIDE master. You're going to do something that becomes an issue. What do I do here?
You're a FIDE master. You're going to do something that becomes an issue.
You know what I'm going to do?
That logic already.
You know what I'm going to do?
Sounds talk yourself out of it. Any decent plan. Here we go. It's equal, so
You have good position.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to work out the best way to deal with this, all these pins and this garbage. I've got a few ideas. You know what I'm going to do? We're going to keep it really simple. We're going to do this.
Ooh.
And Andrew finds the best move. So what I said earlier, Andrew's really good at finding equality. And when he needs to, he can pull this out the bag. He seems to go into the red about here. And I do this in nearly every stream. So for a final time, I will quite quickly show everyone this. And just make sure that you're quickly aware of this colour code, because at some point in every chess game and every fight, and Andrew's a fighter, you will go into the red. My body gives me signals to let me know when this happens to me, so I understand when my brain will release the chemicals that are involved with this, and I'll understand what's going to happen to me after. A lot of combat training and, say, motorcycle racing training and things the way it's high intensity, they enable you to keep a low heart rate while engaging in high combat dangerous situations, and chess activates the same part of the brain. Grandmasters can have heart attacks over the board. At the highest level, or if you try your hardest, you can activate these parts of your brain. Mothers can rip cars off infants. Eddie Hall managed to deadlift half a ton using the same technique. People can focus their brain to channel these chemicals if they need to. But trying to do it while sat perfectly still on FIDE rules or just playing a game of chess casually can make you crash a lot quicker. And a lot of people don't appreciate this. So once you do appreciate this, and you can identify when your body enters all of these stages within a chess game, you also know the remedy on how to get out of that back into a situation like the yellow or the orange, where you've got relaxed, prepared, aware sense of mind, state of mind, good situational awareness. You can identify potential threats and be ready to act, or you can take the action if needed and drift between the yellow and the red. If you enter the white or the black at any point in the game, for example, you're up a queen and you stop concentrating, you'll enter the white and blunder mate in two. If you're being attacked and you panic, or you're in an open situation now, Andrew just started to shake a very little bit by his hand. You'll notice as he played bishop e2, there was a tiny little shudder because he wanted it to be the best move. He really wants to try and impress this guy now and think, right, I'm a good chess player. I've got a good position. He's in a good position. I understand what I'm looking at. I've got all these pins. I'm just going to find a good move. This has to be a good move. I don't think I'm messing anything up. This thought process, whether you can knock out 20 people or not, I've seen the biggest, hardest blokes shake like shitting dogs at chessboards, because that thought process will trigger the endorphins of a survival instinct. You will want to survive this situation you're in. It's like being attacked by a bear. Yeah, you've got a Russian 2700 FM in front of you. You've got a decent-ish position. You don't really want to throw it. So when you understand this about any human being, you can also understand how it affects them in the chess game, and it's studyable. And it's worth looking at. If you get to see a game live like this, rather than just following the eval bar or the engine, look at the players and understand their thought processes and how they evolve and why. Okay, let's continue.
Prophylactic.
Yeah, I just want to get rid of this pin, defend this knight, just try and make some of the things go away. This is my plan.
This move was bad, you know, yeah?
Yes, because the pin you had here, right?
Yeah, I can take and then can take this one.
Exactly. So I saw that. So I'm trying to fix this problem. That's what I'm trying to do.
Ooh, my chances so bad.
Okay. So now can I cancel, I wonder? No, because if I check, if I castle, he's pinned, and you're going to bring your bishop, and you're going to hit this knight. So you know what I want to do? You know what I want to do?
Two bishops' powers. Two bishops have synergy.
I'm going to go here.
Wow.
Trying to
I'm going to force
intimidate
something
him.
to happen here. I don't think because of my position that castling gives me...
Was he trying to intimidate him? Was he trying to give him a clue? He was saying how much he liked his 2 bishops. So this is where I started to notice it as well. And you can see the glint in his eyes. He's looking at Andrew, and Andrew's starting to absorb the hint. He wants Andrew to be agreeable. He wants Andrew to not let his ego get in the way at any point in this chess game, and it does at some point. And it happens very quickly. Because he's gone into the red, his adrenaline will dump in the next couple of moves, and you'll feel calm and relaxed and happy again because you'll understand the FM's trying to help him. And it's really interesting to watch his elo plummet as he tries to find the better moves. But I'm telling you now, in advance, why that happens. It's because of the chart I've just shown you. So I'm helping Andrew. By the time he gets to the point, he'll probably be thinking about this while he's in jail now. Like, why did I throw that position? Why didn't I just take the rook? Why didn't I just take the rook, man? So there's a reason for it, and I've just highlighted it. And by the time this FM starts helping you again and making you happy, it's the complete opposite endorphins for what you were just feeling in that survival instinct. So that ambivalence within you will now create a cocktail of chemicals from your brain that you don't really know what to do with. And I do this trick to people all the time on purpose in casual games. It's really quite clever. It is in fact a hustle. But the FM knows that, and he's trying to help you, and you're a hustler, so here we go.
much protection. I think it's too open. So I don't think castling is so important. So I think I can take back with my king, and I will just try and survive in the middle. You know, right in the middle of the hurricane. Yes, if I take with the queen, I lose the knight, so I have to take with the king.
Wow.
So I'm here in the middle of the hurricane. Castling wasn't going to help
Best move, by the way, so good instincts here.
me that much anyway. My knights are active. Pins are broken. What can we do here? I've got to activate my rooks. Okay, so now this knight is under attack. Ah, and it's pinned to this rook.
Yeah.
Shit. I didn't see that. Of course I didn't see that.
But you have extra pawn. You have extra pawn.
Yeah, I didn't see that this was going to get pinned, and now I can't defend. I can defend it. Okay, defend it like this.
And okay, but I think it's not good. I know you feel this way.
Yeah, I'm in trouble. There's nothing I can do about this knight.
But I'm not sure about this move. I think it's
So the FM's starting to calculate a
Why?
decent line.
okay.
What do you...
Okay? The FM's going to show him something here, and it is in fact white to move here. So this is a really important part of the video. We're 9 minutes in exactly on the Tristan University video, and
See.
Show me, show me.
if you notice, he's just starting to play with moves now and ask him what he's going to do. But what happened a second ago? Rather than walking into this, which has just appeared on the board, white to move and win here. And it's a really interesting scenario where if you are a chess player, genuinely, this is the part of the game where I thought, all right, I'm going to analyze this, because as I was following through with a live analysis, trying to put the moves into a PGM board, the strength of this position and everything they just spoke about, and giving the opponent what they want in order to find something better, reminds me incredibly of a game that I played against an FM myself. Grant Zavages, here we go. So a game that I played against this human being, it wasn't played a lot on this website. Here. This wonderful game with the black pieces in the Benoni. If you can give your opponent what they want, and this guy's FM as well, if you can give your opponent what they want, and at the same time say, I'm going to improve my position, a lot of people will not allow themselves. I named this game Denial, and I named this game Denial on purpose. So Andrew Tate, please enjoy this game of mine. Rated rapid, 2250 against a FIDE master. He went into denial about here. I've already given up an exchange. Now I'm going to develop my other pieces, and this was the better of the moves. Yeah, I have choices here. I can just move my rook, but the better of the moves is in fact this. Now I have the tempi. Now I have the central pawn, and when he tries to do the same thing, this is the beauty of it. If it's just happened to him, and this will happen to you in a minute, Mr. Tate. If it's just happened to him, it'll happen to him again, and he'll go into denial again. And you do this with the corner in a minute with the rook. So a FIDE master can calculate what's going to happen here. I played this move with a great big smile on my face because I knew as he played this, he'd overlooked it. He's saying, right, well, I'm going to pin you and you're not going to move that because you lose your other rook. I'm not focused on the fact that I'm going to lose my other rook. I'm focused on the fact that if I do take this knight and you do take this rook, I then have this fork. And that was a fun, that's only 2 moves deep, but it was a funny enough calculation for me to play this with a smile on my face, enjoying myself, thinking, I dare you. And he paused for a few seconds, probably in shock. Took it, and then I got the fork in. And from here, it's quite a simple conversion, isn't it? I was able to collect the other piece, connect on this square with check, covering everything, and we finish the game. Even if he throws this check in, I've always got an escape. Everything's fine. With threatening mate, it's unstoppable. So, thanks for that. GG, well played. Grant of badges, FIDE master, thank you. And when you're in this sort of position, it's really hard to tune your brain to find even sacrifices that look good. But this move here, bang, this is honestly astonishing. So for anyone that does enjoy chess, this move being plus 1.5 according to the engine is brilliant. Now f takes e6 is in fact the best move, as you'd expect it to be played. A lot of people wouldn't do this necessarily and allow, but if they think for a while, they could allow that because realistically, that doesn't look too bad either. But that's plus 3. Why? Why is this move so good? Even if you can see the number and I tell you the number, why is this move good? If you're a strong chess player, pause the video and try and figure out how the position will develop after this move. Do you want to just take back straight away? Is there something better? What are we actually trying to achieve here? Why is this good? Would you play that in a game? Is this still a problem? And if you don't understand this, you're never going to play it. It's all well and good following the numbers and following the magic computers nowadays that give you all the answers and memorizing these moves. But memory will not create an understanding of good positions. It will not create an understanding of why that one move was beneficial. You are about to split these pawns. Queen takes, I think, yeah, is the way to continue here. And then if they do take, rook takes, and you are in fact better, but down a piece. Black has no active checks. There's nothing going on for them. We're positionally dominant. This pawn's hanging with 2 pieces. It's going to be really hard for black to start defending. Queen takes e6 screams. A lot of people as well, what they do is they'll try and double the rooks, or they'll calculate as far as queen takes here, there, and then they stop calculating because that looks scary. Yeah? If you get to there and stop calculating because that looks scary, it's no good. I'm calculating straight away. There's another check there. That would bring the queen back. If the queen couldn't come back, it actually looks like checkmate because we cover that square with the knight. So you've got options. You've got options, and would you come back there, or would you win yet another pawn? Is that enough compensation yet? All of a sudden you've got 4 central pawns and it doesn't feel that bad. Are you happy playing down a piece with 4 central pawns? I know I am because I've practiced it, and I know I've got the discipline to calculate a bit further down the line. It's not about calculation depth. It's about having the discipline. Mr. Tate, if you're 1600, what will happen to you is you'll go here in your head, you'll see that, and then you'll just stop calculating because you don't like it and you don't want to waste any time, or you don't want to use your brain power on a line that you don't like. It's not about not liking it. It's about understanding that this, whether you like something or it's unclear, may be the best avenue forward, and you need to be allowing yourself to go 2 or 3 moves down that line a bit further before you cancel it. Whenever you hit a point in a line that you don't like, Try and go just 2 or 3 moves further, and you'll see a queen hanging sack that delivers mate in 5. You'll see something magical one day that'll really help you. I don't mind the idea. I imagine the plan, I haven't looked at this, I imagine the plan is in fact to start winning pawns. I might be wrong. But yeah, queen d8, queen takes c6, top move. Right, so this was the position I just calculated to in my head. Queen d7 or king f8. Either of these moves, I imagine trading queens isn't even that bad here. It wants queen b6 or queen takes a8, but if we trade, it is actually in fact bad. Yeah, 2 rooks is too powerful, but a lot of pawns is usually enough for another piece. 2 rooks is too powerful. I was a bit overambitious there. We need to maintain this dominance and keep these pieces locked in for a little while we get one of these pawns rolling and get the other piece involved. So queen b6 or queen a8 check. And all of a sudden, this plan that evolved from Andrew's game against an FM, if Andrew ever was to be an international master, like his father, his understanding of a position would need to be like this. There would need to be a piece gambit involved. Hey up, Boner Paul! Mr.Tate, yeah, the only time you've heard him referred to Mr. Tate. Hey, welcome in, my friend, my only tier 3 subscriber. Well, he's just been arrested and extradited back to the UK, or he'll be fighting it. He's also just played a game on a rooftop with a 2700 FM. So I thought I'd do it some justice, as his dad's an international master. And I do see him winning these games from these sorts of positions with a bit of a better positional understanding and just fine-tuning his brain. His calculation power will be there to hit 2000. You can tell by the way he plays, but you can also tell by the way he crashes, which is very soon actually. He will crash in a minute. His brain will crash. He missed the tactic here, but so did the FM, so did everyone. It was a brilliant Stockfish move. I imagine you'd have to be FM level, concentrating like in a classical game or higher rated in order to see this, because it is quite deep and it does look like it hangs a rook as well. That move is incredibly difficult to find because the follow-up isn't necessarily that obvious, and it doesn't look like you have enough here. Once you've danced around and won all these pawns, you still need to keep your queen active and get your last pieces involved once you've lost a rook as well. So it doesn't look, and I love the, you know what I'm like, I love the idea of a few central pawns for a piece, because that's how I play to beat masters on purpose. So when I saw this for the first time, and I just saw this general idea, I thought I was going to analyse this game. And I'm glad you're here for it. If you've gone already and I've missed you, I'm so sorry. But we're here. And when we continue the video, you'll notice this whole scenario where a positive tactic was missed, and we enter a negative position, where black is now winning, we then immediately get, I think this is the move we're up to. He said, show me with the pin. Black should just play knight f6, but he said, show me. I think the FM knows, you're still here, cool. I think the FM knows this necessarily might not be the best move, because there is a way out of it. And Tate's going to find the way out of it. So the FM's trying to teach him again. He's got that big smile on his face again. He said, show me. I imagine in the classical game he finds this. No problem. So, or just castles long, which is another good move. But yeah, we're here. We're going to continue.
What do you see that I don't
see? Hey Rex, welcome back.
What do you see that I don't see?
So Tate's asking, what do you see that I don't see? What's my way out?
Did you know you can get
They both missed that tactic,
domain completely free?
But now we're here.
With name.
This is the original game. I can give you all a link.
What do you see that I don't see? I don't see anything here.
That's the original video.
As I know, you have really strange
The one watching.
account on Chess.com, and Chess.com change your name, yeah?
Yeah, I was playing chess.com. I should be careful saying this. You know, I'm American. I get in a lot of trouble for saying these things. But my account was Putin will win for a while. Yeah. I'm going to go here. I'm going to lose my rook. It's over for my rook. Goodbye, rook. We tried.
Bye-bye.
Bye, rook.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Check.
Wow.
Right, quickly, for the more eagle-eyed viewers, was his hand shaking there? Was he excited to play that? All right. I'm not saying he's scared. You want to say your Twitch name was Shenra00, but you were watching for a while? No, no problem. I don't have a viewer list up anyway. I'm not like that. So watch Andrew here. Watch him very carefully.
Yeah,
He's
I was
planned
playing
this
chess.com.
once he sees it.
I should be careful saying this. You know. Bye, rook.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay.
So bye rook.
Check.
Wow.
Right. Was his hand shaking? Was he excited to play it? It's not like he rushed it, but he'd planned that 2-move sequence. He was happy with it. I don't think he's gone much further in his head at the moment. Because this is where it literally all starts to fall apart for him, and the FM starts giving him takebacks. So he'd planned this 2-move sequence with a feeling of excitement. I've already told people, Tate's white, and we're in English. So we started in the English opening, and we've got to here on move 21, where Andrew Tate has just played knight takes d6 with excitement. And I've put plenty of videos and shorts out about the emotion that cripples you over a chessboard and causes that initial dump once you've been in the red and once you've had all those endorphins that are involved with your survival instincts and fighting, is excitement. This is the final ingredient into that cocktail that will make you a 200 elo absolute idiot, queen blundering, nonsense playing moron, no matter what level you are. It just happens to you when you get excited after an intense survival moment, typically. So I reckon Andrew's excited here. He's played that with a little shudder in his hand, and I've noticed it. I've caught it. And from here, it's obvious what happens to him. Watch. So Black does the exact same thing Tate did earlier. Shows that king bravery that we all associate. Yeah, that pressure on the knight. Now it looks like Tate's going to lose the knight, and he has to win that bishop. But he doesn't start calculating.
Nothing.
He gets board vision here, and he focuses on this problem in the center of that board. His brain has focused in on that issue, and his heart has created an emotional attachment to it. That's my knight. I'm going to lose my knight.
Bishop. Ah, knight, and then I get the rook.
Right. So what happened there was the FM had to point out to him that that's a good move, and he still doesn't accept it as a good move. Yeah, he goes to do something in the center. He goes to protect his knight and let him keep his bishop.
I was actually thinking of sacrificing the knight here, then check, then queen down check.
Now he's going to justify his logic on why he pushed, right? So he hasn't actually played this move yet. You can still see the bishop on that square. The FM's trying to convince him to play that move, and Andrew's just going to try and let his ego take over for a few seconds, and it's not that bad.
But this, if I sacrifice the knight here, you take, and I don't have anything.
Good idea, but
the bishop stops it.
So they've edited that video there, already made it shorter. The FM's already stroking his ego.
Right.
Now he takes the bishop.
I was like, if I take his, he takes me. I didn't see that I get the rook.
Now he has to admit to the world that he's crap. What's Andrew Tate's rating? Is he 2,000? So Andrew's already admitted he's around 1,600 in reality. His peak's around 19. And that little moment there, where he had to have a word with himself after the FM's already told him what to do. Watch how this develops again. So now, the continuation, we're plus 3.7. Black needs to stop this, but he says, for the content, yeah? Which basically prompts Andrew to take a free rook. Watch what happens.
Wow, it's not good for me. I have troubles. Maybe I need to go to attack. Okay, let's go for content.
For content.
Well, my dad always said rooks love open files. So
rooks love open files. So for content.
Yeah, good idea, but I can promote defense my rook.
You can promote the defense of your rook.
So he said his dad, International Master Emery Tate. Rooks love open files. They do. It's great advice.
Yeah.
But that excitement that's still within him, and he's still refusing the idea. His ego's still stopping him.
You play rook d8, and you pile up on this file.
He's now trying to convince himself that there's something wrong with taking that rook. Well, if I do that, then you pile up on this file, and then, bro, just take the rook, man.
No, it is. And can I defend it? Then I bring my queen back here. This square is defended, this square defended, this square defended. So I might be okay.
Yeah.
Let's try.
Okay. Now after I've justified it to myself.
Here. Here.
Okay,
So
we're
now I
back.
get this file under control. Now I need to close it.
Let's go.
Okay, surely I just fork here, no?
Let's go. Surely I just
Okay.
fork here, no? Okay, let's calm it down. So, that was a bit of an emotional roller coaster there, and it's not worth just skipping past it all. A lot of moves were played there quite quickly. It is still a casual game, but the mental shift is now back towards, all right, Tate, you're winning. You've got a fresh decision to make. You've just said, all right, well, surely this is a good move. Yes, it is a good move. His FIDE master, coach, friend, whoever he is on the roof playing with him now, is in fact doing him a favour. He said, okay, let's go. He's imagined this position for Tate to try and deal with, right? He's now set him a riddle. I do this for my pupils all the time. Why did Tate struggle to take that so much? Why did he have to give himself a speech to get out of it? Yeah, I suppose he is worried about a potential check. So he comes back for it. Yeah, everything's fine. If he had to talk himself through that plan, that's fine. Andrew Tate is strong enough of a chess player to have calculated that line himself, but the decision was just fighting the fact that he was wrong to begin with. Yeah, that was the real problem with that. And I notice this in my pupils all the time, especially the alpha male ones. If there's something, I've done it myself. If I want to leave a piece hanging because I think I find something better, I do it. And then if I'm wrong, trying not to be stubborn about that idea, especially on review if there's an FM telling you. Like, for example, now if he's in custody and someone's trying to help him, if he thinks he knows better, he's not going to listen. And a lot of development has come from me just accepting the fact that I don't know better than computers or some grandmasters or whatever. I have to accept what they know, but while still keeping my fighting spirit and trying to prove them wrong when it's my turn. Now, it's not your turn to prove the FM wrong here after he's told you. So my biggest advice for Andrew Tate would be, Queen takes H8 is mundane. That would be my problem with it. So have you got a problem with it as well? So it's mundane. Yeah, Bonapool, you're an alpha male, you're a fighter. You think that's mundane. It is boring. I used to suffer from this. Witty Alien suffers from this. There are loads of us that suffer from this. We just wouldn't take the rook. I didn't take a rook with check against WGM Adriana Nikolova, which would have won me the game. I was looking for something better. I was too excited. These are all the emotions that are involved with playing great players. I've done this myself. Like, this is how I know and why I'm qualified to comment and why I'm not embarrassed to comment. I don't even think Andrew Tate will be annoyed. If you correct a wise man, he'll thank you. If you correct a fool, he'll hate you. But I do honestly think, knowing that excitement is the reason you've allowed yourself to enter these thought processes, and the FM being clever enough to bring you out of that excited thought process and put you back into a fresh riddle right here, where you sound more serious. The tone in your voice and the mental shift has just switched back to serious. The look on your face is thinking. You're not excited. You should get through this fresh riddle on top in a plus 4.7, plus 5 position. So shout out to your instructor. He's doing a fantastic job. Let's continue.
Which is okay, because now I get to do this.
Oof. Let's go. Crazy horse.
Crazy horse hopping in. So yeah, Bonapool says once he assessed the position, it is pretty undeniable you got to take the rook. And yeah, you have to assess the position rather than just allow excitement to take over. Or follow your dad's initiative and principles and miss the fact that black... It's a one-move calculation. Black could have defended. The FM was quite upset with him for missing that because it's only one move deep. But it's not about depth. It's just about thought process. It's not about ability or elo. It's just about concentration, excitement, and thought process. Like right here. Gone sideways.
Checkmate me.
Yeah.
I want to take your rook.
I know we are playing.
I want to take your rook. Yeah, of course you do.
Which
Of
would
course
in
he
fact
knows
be
my plan.
checkmate,
He knows
as
my
he
plan
points
long
out.
ago. My plans are simple, bro.
If it was
My
white's
plans are
move
easy.
again,
now
it's
you
checkmate.
check me, but I think I've got
So that's
D2
what
under
Andrew's
control
going
with
for.
my queen, so you cannot checkmate me and my knight. but then you get the open file. But
Doesn't sound excited, does he?
Position.
He sounds confident, but he's questioning his ability. His mental state now is in like orange. He's come out of the red. He's also not completely switched off, and he's also not underperforming and letting his ego waffle on and talk loads of nonsense.
I need help. Okay.
The FM, we all do it, by the way, but like
I have last chance.
that'd be something I imagine his dad would pick him up for, because once you lose that, you have the ability to become a genuine chess master, and it's something I've been working on for years.
You defense every.
almost. There's still a, you know, little bit to worry about. I'm trying to defend the dark squares with my queen because
Good defense. Wow. Okay, maybe.
Yeah.
I have this one.
We're here.
so you're planning knight f2 and to win my knight.
You know all my plans.
This is what you're planning.
That's Andrew's calculation
If
out
I go
loud.
king e2, does that fix everything? And before I go king e2, is there any checks for me? Check goes there. That's mate, so you're not going to do that. If I go queen a7 check and you go king e6, I have knight g5 mate, so you're not going to do that. Because no, it's not mate because you also have f5 to escape. But you're not going to do that anyway. You're going to go f8. Check, king f8. What happens there?
So he's trying to calculate out
King
loud
B1,
and
you go
redeem
here,
himself a
something
little bit here.
Yeah.
For himself.
Nothing happens with my attacks, I don't think.
It's good. It should be doing it. He's trying to go a bit deeper.
King e2.
But these are lines that he likes the look of.
You cannot check me with the knight because I take on c3.
So it's easier to calculate these. You want to, because they look fun as well. You don't just stop at the fact that your queen's facing a rook in front of a king and your brain says no. You will calculate this because you're not calculating any counter threats.
Wow.
It's fun to calculate.
My gosh. I have really bad position, really bad.
Of spammers in the chat.
But I
A really bad position, he
never
says.
choose.
True.
I never surrender.
Of course. We never surrender.
Never
We
surrender.
never surrender. This is how, you know?
Never
Fight to the
surrender.
To the end. Fight to the death.
That's right.
To the death.
Yeah. Okay, maybe.
The Tate special.
Okay, just for
Thank you,
Just for
Donor Paul. Right.
Let's go.
For content.
Okay.
So he's just sacked here. Tate's like, okay.
Ah.
Oh, I see the
You
idea.
get it back.
You win the knight back.
You get it back.
You get it back,
This is sneaky.
Never surrender.
which is
If I
perfectly
take,
fine,
he's
by the
gonna
way.
get queen g2 and he gets it back.
Right, so you're about to watch Mr. Tate go through the exact same thought process I was on about and reject a winning idea because he doesn't like it, not because he's assessed the position. If you're over 1600, you can assess this position. Let's do quick piece maths. How many pieces are we up? 1. He's upset he's about to lose it and not win it back. That pawn is the problem. Anyone over 1600 can assess this without emotional compromise as correct. If you do push that, and then that check comes in, and then you do win that, quick pawn count, we're huge, and we're going to start winning stuff over here. Yeah? Black's only pawns will be those two, which have to run into these three. As a queen versus queen endgame, with just queens, kings, and pawns on the board, and we do a bit of maths with a bit of sense, looking at this position from here, are we worried? Are we worried about the fact that Black's queen's going to be dragged all the way over this side of the board? Black's going to have to use a turn, because chess is a turn-based game, winning that knight, at which point we can step out of the way, and we're going to win this pawn at some point with check. So I don't think you need to be over 1600 to calculate this. I think anyone over about 1500 will calculate as far as winning that with check comfortably, genuinely comfortably, And the only thing that's stopping him from doing this is emotional compromise, be it through excitement, be it through tiredness, fatigue, be it through an attachment to a certain piece like he has for his knight at the moment. A lot of people have attachments to the queen or a rook, so they won't see that sack exchange because they just think it's worth too much. They've put a value on it that's not necessarily correct. All right? Watch what happens now.
And then my king is checkable, and then everything falls apart because he can take all my pawns and everything. And now I'm up a piece. So what I need to do is this.
So
Does this work?
he blunders massively
It might
here. He plays that, which walks straight into that, and you
Doesn't
lose
work?
on the spot because
Why?
this pawn
You
covers
have- you
this
have
square,
queen, E4
and you
check.
honestly just lose on the spot.
Yeah, I go, yeah. You have queen E4 check, I go king F2, you trot queens, and you get a new queen.
Yeah.
So that doesn't work.
Touch rule exists for a reason, yeah? Queen A7 check seems reasonable as well from Bonaparte. Right, so Queen A7 check seems reasonable. Your point is, there's no sacrifice or anything here. We're always in time to catch the pawn, yeah? So you want Queen A7 check. Let's have a quick look. Queen A7 check. That equalises. It's not the end of the world. You can start forcing a draw. But we need to allow his plan. The only winning move here is knight takes h2, and we need to allow this plan. So it's easy in hindsight with an engine. If you're facing this against a FIDE master, personally, I'd just eat that pawn and be up pawns. Because if you can just start calculating turns, by the time you started winning stuff, you don't have to be on a checking square. You're going to win something back with check. This outside majority should do you okay. You're underneath everything he has to do. Worst case scenario, you're going to get a draw anyway. If he wants to hold on to this piece so bad, I do get why he comes back. But then, are you going to maintain your dominance? Yeah, I suppose if you could teleport White's queen here, he'd be quite happy, wouldn't he? That's what he really wants in his head. That's his thought process. He wants to blockade that pawn and win it with 2 pieces. Well, wait. Not after h2. Okay, right. So before h2. So, well, this sack came in. So if you're on about, you could play it here. Yeah, that's perfectly fine. This is a good move. +2. So king f8 or king d8. And you can continue from here if this is where you meant Bonaparte. So that's not a bad move there at all. Once h2's in after the knight sack, the idea of giving this piece back needs to be met with the thought process that chess is a turn-based game. And I try and teach people this all the time. Andrew's already said out loud, sorry, Mr. Tate, oh, you're going to start winning all these pawns over here and everything will be bad. He's projected that into his own head. He's seeing ghosts out of his own choice. You have to win this with a full turn. You can then win this with check. If I gave you this position, Mr. Tate, in your head at any elo and said it's black to move under check, would you take this position? You only had to calculate 3 moves deep to get to here, but you rejected the idea because you didn't like it. That's why. It's nothing to do with your chess skill. Yeah? Your dad would be like, hey! Just go down that line a little bit further. Understand what it is you're trying to achieve. Yeah? Just because you don't like something, understand that it's worth going down that avenue a little bit. Yeah? And I genuinely hope you take that as someone who's just passionate about chess, trying to empathize with your father on what he'd want for you here. You are capable of calculating to this position. You chose not to. Why? If I'm wrong, if it's not because you're excited and it's not because your ego's in the way, it's not because you don't like it, you tell me why. I think it's because you don't like something and you've already started talking about all the things you don't like, possibly without actually calculating it using your skill. Okay? Chess is a turn-based game. Win it once you've stepped out of the way. Win that pawn with check. And I'm going to let the video play on for a bit because I know how much you talk yourself out of winning moves here with him again. And you have another couple of takebacks here again. When I was watching this game, I kept having to restart my PGN because of the amount of takebacks this FM was kind of giving Mr. Tate. And it's sad for me, honestly, that I'm a brokey and this man's a millionaire. And if I'd spent less time focusing all my energy on a board game, I could have done something else, couldn't I? But my journey in chess as well is to try and fix my ego. It's to try and understand where I make excuses for myself. And Andrew starts making excuses for himself a lot. From the point where he missed that, he does start making excuses for himself, and excuses are for losers. This is why you drop all your elo again. You'll go into denial at some point, and you'll start playing stuff that you think you like, as opposed to you've calculated as decent, okay? This is great. There's nothing wrong with this position at all. And we get there eventually. The FM gets you there. So I'm going to go make another coffee while you talk yourself out of this move a bit more. Okay.
There's nothing I can do. I have to do it.
But you feel nice, man.
I know, but you gave your knight for a pawn, and you're gonna get the knight back. I'm trying to see if there's any way I can keep my knight, but there's not. Check, check. There, check.
Do not pay somebody to build you
Knew
a
this
shop
would
at a
happen.
store.
My spidey
Because
sense was
I'm gonna do
tingling.
it free with 20 handpicked product.
Haha! Haha!
I have to take it. I'm right. I have to take it. Okay, I'm checking. There's no secret move. Okay.
Yes, we.
Check. Okay. So now, I don't want to go somewhere where you can check me again without taking a piece. If I go up, you win a pawn and check me. If I go here, you get the pawn and check me. So I'm gonna go here.
Check.
You check me anyway. Yeah. No. Okay, but then I can block with the queen.
Yeah, you can blow.
And then you go here. And then I
He
block.
hangs a draw a few times here.
I want you to have to take my knight and lose a move. Well, teach me. Where's the best place I should go here? If I go here, you take with
I
check.
think this best.
But you take with check.
But you can match it free. For me, it's better.
I can block the knight, yeah. So here you take the knight.
Yeah, I can take the knight. Yeah.
So what they're discussing is the fact that
Without tempo.
when he takes here, he's
Without
going to
tempo,
take
yeah.
with
So I
check.
go here. You have check. I go here.
But the FM's convincing him this is the better square.
What's better there?
What's better there? Yeah.
Now I have no attacks, nothing.
Yeah, my 2 pawns was
We're
under
very
attack.
weak, yeah.
Yeah.
But I was thinking it defends this. But I know what you mean. I have no play here. But I was trying to play defensively and thinking maybe I defend this. But okay. Yeah. Where's the knight? Knight was there. Yeah. Okay, so I'll go here.
Okay.
See, without his help, I'd already be long dead. I'd be dead long ago. And he's being nice to me anyway, with Beaver's Claw.
Beaverclaw, yeah. It's the best opening.
When you play this against Magnus, I'll believe in it.
No, I play group opening any time.
Okay, I can hear Mr. Tate giving it the old, I talk really loud like I'm still the alpha and I will promote that I approve and respect the man I'm talking to. Yes, so at this point his ego is satisfied with something. They've come to an agreement on moves, he understands the position, and he's announced it with his alphaness. Yes, I am Andrew Tate. I am happy with everything you've said. Yeah, baby. Where are we in the game?
I have dangerous position. It becomes dangerous. What I need to do right now? What I need to do?
That queen is still here, as is that pawn. Right. So we haven't even taken the knight on the board yet.
Okay, let's go.
We're here.
Wait.
Right, they've agreed on this line. Now Andrew, who was worried about this coming with check, still has a turn here, doesn't he?
You have 3 extra pawns.
You have 3 extra pawns, hint.
Too much.
Yeah?
Yeah. But I'm about to lose another one.
But I'm about to lose another one. He's still upset about it. He still doesn't like it. This is blocking him from seeing clearly. So he takes.
So,
Right.
check. Yeah, check.
Check. Would you take this position as white?
How you train in chess right now?
I don't.
How
I
do you
play
trade in
quick
chess, he
games for fun.
asks.
Oh,
I'm gonna
Watch
make you
the
perpetual
eval bar
check
as
and then
well.
draw.
yeah.
Okay. We can do draw, but this is no fun for the video. I could just go back, forth. Okay, I cannot keep this pawn, right? If I go here, check, take the pawn. If I go here, I can't go there. If I
You
go
believe
here,
you would
check.
what? Draw?
So there's no way to keep my pawn.
Or you believe you take this position? I believe I'd take this position. If that's what you're answering, I believe you are.
Ooh, you wanna
No perpetual check. We'll play it out.
So he plays away. Now, it is interesting how this king, honestly, watch this king now. This king goes on such a journey that it's actually incredible. And it's a really good endgame study from here. We've now exited the middle game. We've gone through all the complications. Mr. Tate's had plenty of takebacks. The FM's now got to teach him how to win this position or make it as difficult for him as possible. The FM now has a real challenge. He's got to turn it on. Clearly winning, but easy to draw. Once drawing, easy to lose. Correct. So for the ability difference, this still looks like absolutely crushing. The king position is what's so important. The amount of pawns should be dominant. If you're in a league game or if you're a lower rated player playing a casual game, if you go up 2 pawns in the middle game, you're normally feeling quite comfortable and happy about yourself, aren't you? So if you're in this endgame against a FIDE master, or if you're in this endgame against a maximum level computer and you don't feel comfortable, you need to practice it. I sat for hours practicing where I'm up a pawn against Stockfish in supposedly winning endgames, which are so easy to throw into a draw because of where the king position is, because of where the rook position is. These are the intricate endgame details where you can convert your won positions once you've achieved them. If you get this position legitimately over the board against someone a lot higher rated than you and throw it, it will cripple you, it will hurt you. I've thrown a game, casual, but I've thrown a game with 2 outside passed pawns and they had nothing but a king and a rook. I don't know how I did it. I don't know how I managed to draw that game, but it does happen. And I remember it was that moment where I don't know how I managed to do that. I went back and I started studying rook, king and pawn endgames, and it was horrible. It was one of the worst chess experiences of my life. But here we are. Queen and pawn endgames are uncommon. Yes, they were also quite drawn a lot of the time, despite the amount of pawns on the board, because of king position, which is quite interesting. The black queen will develop a position where she can get lots of checks, and Mr. Tate walks into it a couple of times. But from here, you should be feeling confident. If you just sat down for a fresh game of chess from this position, you'd approach it a lot differently than if you've achieved this position from a fight. And this is what a lot of people don't appreciate when they ask, why is my puzzle rating so good, but my chess elo so low? It's because you'll approach each puzzle different than you'll approach each phase of a game, and your emotional roller coaster during puzzles isn't there. That's true. Good. Right, let's continue. Check. Oh.
Let's go. Okay, I can take.
So, can everyone see the eval bar here? It's drawn. The FM says, let's go, and takes a pawn, but that's because he's just trying to create a winning chance. It's actually drawn here with queen e3 check. Astonishingly. Try and run away. You've got this move, forcing him back down. And if you come down, same story. Yeah? We've never got mate, because the queen covers that square. But yeah. If you look for these sorts of things, you can get stuck behind your own pawn. And then what do you do? Because if you come down again, you can't block because then it is mate. So you've got to come back up. And now you're stuck. So, not that the FM's looking for a draw, but the FM is capable of finding that. He's just not looking for it. You're saying, let's go, and taking a pawn and keeping the game fun because he's playing on a rooftop in Moscow and probably being paid about 5 million quid to do it. Let's continue. I'm getting paid. Queen takes F4. Bernapol says, after a fight where you know you're winning, it's too easy to let your guard down. Yes, that's called going into the white. Going into the white. The white. Easily done when you're up a queen or something. I've done it too many times. Oh, any move wins, apart from that one. And that one.
What can I do?
What state of mind is he in now? Yellow, orange, red, white, black. FM's in red. Andrew's in orange, I think. He's trying to calculate this going to the end, but you might be getting board vision. You might be getting sucked into this area and forgetting the fact that he has these two pawns to assist.
It's easy to assemble.
That's easily done as well, by the way. So these two pawns might not exist on the board for Andrew in a minute. In his head, this will become the board where it's queen and 2 versus queen and 2. This is a really easy trap a lot of people fall into as well. Really easy at all levels. Let's continue. I think we're here.
Okay, this one.
Check. So now he's finding that sort of idea because he's looking for it. Now Andrew's far too close to winning. Check. Do you know how difficult this was, by the way, to copy? It took forever. Okay, we are here, I think. Plus 7.2. Andrew's having a real think about where he wants to move. But if I was Andrew Tate, we're on move 45. What I'd do is I'd put move 46 into Stockfish maximum level and I would practice this position 5 times, converting it 5 times against the max level computer, and understand how you feel different doing that than how you felt that day. Only you will know how you feel right now playing this game against that man. But it'll be a completely different emotion when you're practicing this position against a maximum level computer. And then the day you have this sort of position again against a grandmaster, you will be able to convert it because you've put the training time in, just like you do, like you apply towards fighting. You treat chess exactly the same, you'll get the same results. You'll be a champion. Also, who'd be excited to see a queen trade here?
I have bad position. Bad.
Have we got this far? Is queen down there yet? No. Andrew, right, hold on. What's happening to Andrew here? Is he focused on chess, or is he that winning? All of a sudden, where is he? He's entered the white. Where is he? He's entered the white. So, Andrew Tate, when I said to you, this moment where you're going to go back and practice against a max level computer, this very moment when you start looking at the birds, you start wondering what's going on around you, you start thinking about who you're going to see later, what you're having for your dinner, right? This right here is also going to release a different set of brain chemicals. This right here is going to switch you off. I do this to people on purpose. I can create positions where they're that winning. I then look for this exact moment in them and I turn it all back on. Right. How quick did he make that move? And we've just hung a draw, by the way. So he spent a long time calculating when it was +7. Started looking around. He assessed in his head it was +7. He told himself a minute ago any move won. His king's travelled quite far. And all of a sudden, now he's in a position where he's stuck behind other pawns, not his own. And the king position's completely different. Therefore, the position's completely different. And he's not spent the time to calculate. He's made the last couple of moves in quite quick succession. And he's in fact hung a draw here with Queen F3 check. Yeah, we connect up with this pawn. King G5, because king here, can't. King here, can't. Our queen protects that pawn through some sort of magic x-ray. Only move is here. Queen E3 check. If you take the pawn, that looks like we have the repetition. Yeah. Queen E4 check. Right, so now we're controlling these squares. Now we have the repetition. And this sort of thing will happen to you in the game and it'll break your heart. This would be a lot harder to see, to be fair. I don't blame the FM if he misses this. If you go tuck behind it is, yeah, you'd end up taking that. But then you try and run away again. And then I'm not going to spoil what actually happens because we get quite close to the end of the game. So the final sort of taking point from this game for anyone, including Mr.Tate, is when you started looking around here, you completely switched off. I watched an opponent of Rucha Pujari and I covered the game. Her 2200 rated FIDE opponent did this. He assessed a position as he was losing. He then found a drawn position. Then he just completely switched off. His body language was bad. I spoke about this with International Master Rucha Pujari myself. She noticed the same thing in him. He put his feet up on a chair. He started looking around the room and he hung the game straight away. So this is something that chess players need to notice about themselves. It doesn't matter how strong you are. If you allow your brain to do that in any position, you will throw a game. And it happened again here. Now, you got away with it this time. Just. Does he take? Are we there yet? Is this how the game ends? Am I in the right thing? I'll get the one with the analysis up now.
You have sunglasses with ENDGAME. The Stockfish.
You have sunglasses with Stockfish,
No
yes?
Stockfish. No Stockfish, just
It's actually drawn here, but it's complimenting him. He's testing his mentality. He's understanding whether or not he realises there's a draw here potentially.
take them off.
This position.
Andrew still thinks he's completely winning,
See, this
which is
should
good.
have kicked my ass with it earlier instead of, you know.
You'd still
always
feel
wanted
completely
to
winning
make
here,
my
providing you can
mistakes.
get out of it.
You were
Life's fine.
I never surrender, man. Never.
Never surrender. Professor Donkus Congus, hello, do you play chess with viewers? I do usually, yeah.
And
And we're quite close to the end of this. Right, he finds this move, check. And I believe Mr. Tate, with his hand up like this, said, well, I'm just going to take this pawn, now it should be alright. He hopes. Now he's starting to look for the draw. He doesn't think he sees it. Everything's fine. So on move 50.
Here's the car clock that erases
The game
car
ends on move 52.
Look, no edits, no Photoshop.
And this is
You run it
beautiful,
over
by the
scratch
way.
in small
I'm not gonna pause this. I'm gonna let it roll out for people who are also on shorts on mobile that have just caught this. So people who've hit this position live on mobile, you'll just be able to see the graph has disappeared. We're now equal. The eval bar reveals that. But why are we equal? Everyone knows about the repetition check, but what the FM finds here, it looks like a Stockfish idea. It's honestly beautiful. And positional understanding in itself is something that you do develop by. I've studied stalemate tricks. I've studied the nuances of king positions in endgames, and having that extra little pawn just blocking an escape square has helped me out so many times with knight and rook mates and stuff like that. And I've had this at the top level, so it stays with me. It's in my heart. I am someone that thinks with 90% emotion, 10% logic, like every other human being. But knowing how to discipline that part of your brain and understanding when the emotional chemicals are released and how they can benefit you or hinder you is a significant part in developing as a chess player. It's where a lot of people fall down that are extremely talented, and it's also why a lot of people who are extremely good at calculating can't get past a certain stage, because they don't actually attach any emotion to the chess at all. They just try and do everything logically. But the yin-yang of it all is, look at this beautiful move he's just found. F6. You find this beauty and understanding through the idea of giving up the material. A lot of people wouldn't like the idea of giving up the material, so they wouldn't calculate it. And now the FIDE master plays Queen G6. The only move is in fact to take that, at which point, as you can hear the men giggling.
Great game. Great game.
Great game, well played.
That was a good ending. That was smart.
Yeah.
Stalemate trick.
Of course. Of course. So there's nothing I can do. I cannot not take.
Queen and
I
four
have to
pawns,
take her. I
up
cannot go
plenty
anywhere.
of material,
This
and you hang stalemate.
If you,
How unfortunate.
I can.
One position you were genuinely winning in the game,
Yeah.
and it has an insane tactic
And you need to.
that no one's really finding. But
Stalemate.
if I didn't do this review and I didn't put this game into Stockfish, I don't think this tactic would have ever been found. Because I didn't see this either
Take this pawn.
when I was watching the game live.
And this check.
19 knight d6 is fantastic.
After this move, you can find stalemate. So again,
Find the stalemate.
I haven't continued
Is
watching the
it
video.
Take here.
yeah.
So as they finish their lesson now, and he's just teaching him another couple of stalemate tricks to try and tune his mind into finding that sort of thing in the future. We will shout out this FM again because he is clearly a fantastic teacher. FIDE Maxim Omariev, thank you for teaching Andrew Tate on a rooftop in Moscow. Thank you to Tristan University for filming it. And I guess eventually thank you to me for putting it into a Lee chess study and covering it myself. And I'm going to make a video to try and complement this. And I will run through this one time quickly on fast before I dip out and I start editing this video eventually. It's now 4:15 in the morning in England. Fantastic ending. It was Bonaparte F6 check. When I watched this and I watched the game and I'm trying to follow the game, and they don't spend too long talking in between the moves, you can sort of enjoy it. I was watching the game and at the point of takebacks getting a little bit confused, but when they get into this sort of ending, I could see what was going on. And I could see the idea behind f6. If f6 gets played here, he's got to have a stalemate trick. You're giving up your last bit of material, right? And there wasn't a lot he could do about it. So looking at the game in a whole and everything that could have been picked up, the FM gave him, I think it was 3 or 4 takebacks in total. Tried to educate him twice on the same subject and 2 more times on similar subjects. Set up about 4 or 5 scenarios where you could win. Here there was another little scenario where there was a riddle as well. The amount of questions that he's asked Mr. Tate, and the point of why I'm saying all this is he's created that emotional instability roller coaster throughout the entire game where you're winning, it's equal, you're winning, it's equal, you might be winning, you might be losing based on your understanding. He asked him so many questions that at some point he was going to get one wrong. No matter whether you're 300 or 3,000, if you ask someone that many questions, at some point they will get one wrong because they'll either be emotionally attached to something that should be logically applied to or vice versa. If you are applying logic far too frequently and often, you will run out of time. Yeah, sometimes you need to use the force or use your instincts or play a bit faster, and it's why a lot of us enjoy bullet, because it will activate that negative nervous response system in the brain. Our survival instincts will go nuts while we're trying to emotionally compromise ourselves basically and level it out at the same time using logic. We're having our 2 parts of our brain trying to work in unison and fighting. It's like a drug. None of us really understand why we do it, why it's so addictive, why people have heart attacks over the boards, but it's what I've been studying for years, and I'm starting to hit the nail on the head. I've been hitting it on the head for a while using my military training, and my only real sort of ability comes from this emotional understanding, and it's why I beat players at the top level. If I've got a win over Grandmaster Gleck, who's got his own variations named after him, rated win in Liga, and I know it was because I emotionally compromised him, I know what I'm talking about. And I've got the confidence to know what I'm talking about, and have done for years. Those that have been willing to listen have absorbed it and done quite well. This one? There we go. Comment section. Haters. Just haters non-stop. Put a digital board on. What's the point of watching? Blah, blah, blah. So when I saw all this, right, okay. I can deal with this. I can fix this for the haters. I wonder how long it'll be before someone tries to nick my PGN and make their own copy of what I've just done. But realistically, if I get it in time and people enjoy it and I edit it right, it should be good. It should be good.